Hey there, it's Derrik Hubbard here, certified financial planner. If you're still working, you may or may not be familiar with what's called an in-service rollover. Now, most companies actually will allow you to roll over your company retirement plan funds into your own self-directed IRA account, even though you're still working for the company, if you've reached the age of 59 and a half. And there are tremendous advantages to having money in the self-directed IRA over the investment options of the company retirement plan. Let's talk about that. Company retirement plans, generally speaking, have investment options that have been built for the person in the accumulation phase of life, not necessarily the pre-retiree, the person who only has maybe a few years left before retirement. And so what that means is many of the investment options that you have access to actually aren't a great fit for your risk appetite as someone that's getting ready to retire. In fact, it could be potentially catastrophic to you in terms of loss if there's too much money in those high risk options. Now, there are alternatives to high risk stock market options in retirement plans, but they're generally going to be bond mutual funds, which can actually lose value in a rising interest rate environment, which we see ourselves in over the coming years. And the only other option, generally speaking, are going to be the stable value funds, and those pay really minimal interest. So pre-retirees are going to need more options. They're going to need better options to help them bridge that gap that they're going to have when they retire between the income they're going to get from their income sources and their retirement expenses. So having a self-directed IRA account allows you, as the investor, nearly limitless options. A story I came across the other day, I recently called TIAA, the company retirement plan provider, with one of my clients who was getting ready to retire. That was his investment company retirement plan provider. Now, in the past, we had always been under the impression the company does not allow employees to do these in-service rollovers at the age of 59 and a half. But we wanted to clarify, we just wanted to make sure. What we found out is the company actually had changed their provisions so that starting in 2019, both the employee contributions that they made and the employer contributions that were made on his behalf were now available to be rolled over, even though he was still working. So even if you think you don't have access to an in-service rollover option, you may want to check in again, because sometimes companies will change their provisions. And so it's becoming more and more and more common for you as an employee to have those investment options and that flexibility to be able to roll over your own funds and sometimes employer funds to your own self-directed IRA account. So my question for you in the comments, let me know, have you ever taken advantage of an in-service rollover?